Jeffrey Dean.
Hey, Scott, what's up?
I am recording a podcast episode this week about Vacation Bible School. And do I remember correctly? Did you tell me once that you went and your grandmother taught it?
My grandmother taught vacation Bible school just about every year that I was forced to go. Um, Not only did we participate in the graham cracker eating on a daily basis, but I got to become the leading expert in Birmingham, Alabama on sword drills.
The dreaded sword drill.
Yes, and to make it even better, we had another church that was about 2 blocks away that once our vacation Bible school was over, my grandmother used to make me walk to this one at another church that I didn't go to and had no friends in to have another week of vacation Bible school.
Oh my God. Wow. You need, I don't know. I don't know what the term is. You need some care.
I think actually I should have won the white Bible with my name on the front, but I didn't get that.
Why? It's rigged.
Well, it's, Southern Baptist, you never know.
So you had to go to two different ones were they consecutive? Did you have to serve your term consecutively?
Yes, yes, because they were both in the mornings from, 8 or 8:30 till 12 or 12:30, and then you got to walk back home up and down 2 hills in the blazing Alabama sun in mid-July. It was a great experience.
That sounds good. If anything's gonna set you on the straight and narrow, it's it's that.
Well, it hasn't worked so far.
All right, wish me luck.
Good luck, pal.
All right, today's show is about a thing called Vacation Bible School, or what the more hip call VBS. So I'm gonna try to get some answers to these mysteries from inside the belly of the I won't say beast, I'll say belly of the whale, since about 500 of the songs we had to sing were about that very thing. I'm going to welcome in Chad Goucher. Now, I don't know what pastors do. I don't know what they think. I don't know if they have dreams or desires, but we're going to try to unpack all that with him. Chad, welcome in.
Let's do it, man. It's awesome to be here with you, man. I love it, and can't wait to dive into this.
Appreciate
I
your
got
time.
some beef with VBS myself, so let's have the airing of grievances here.
I'm all for it. Now, I just introduced you. It seems like we should have the theme song now, or you should just have your own theme music. Maybe you two.
Okay, a
Yeah.
walk up song.
Right.
Okay,
So
yeah.
let me give a little background to those who don't, uninitiated, which I can't imagine some children that grew up in this country that got to escape that. I was listening to a conversation recently by a couple of people around our age that they were raised Catholic, and they were talking about this thing that they heard about, Vacation Bible School, like it was 1970s Central American monetary policy. Like they had no, like they were like poking at it with a stick. Now, what is it? Is it like a day camp? And they just couldn't even imagine this, which I can't imagine not knowing.
I can't imagine growing up without VBS.
Chad, do you remember when we were kids, when you went to Vacation Bible School, do you remember a single day of rain? Like it was always perfect weather outside. It was always beautiful, and you were, inside.
That is an incredible insight. I don't think I do. I don't
Let,
think I remember that.
let's back up a little bit here. I wrote, you know what? The last time you were on, it started with a Facebook post of mine about an unfortunate event from my eighth grade year. Well, this is from 2015. I wrote this on Facebook. There's 25 comments on this from other survivors of this thing. So I get a little queasy when I see Vacation Bible School signs start to pop up around town. I hated VBS as a kid. I remember watching a collection of local heathen children and those sentenced to a different VBS schedule outside the window playing baseball, just right outside the room where I was forced to glue felt to cardboard as craft. It was it was torture. I remember one of the teachers going outside and asking my buddies if they wanted to come inside and go to Bible school. They stopped their baseball game. They considered the request to go to school in the summertime. They probably continued their baseball game. It was summer. It was vacation. Vacation, anything school is a violation of an implied contract, and no amount of juice and cookies should be able to dissuade that.
No, no, there were not enough popsicles.
That's an actual story. Now, you're a local, we grew up in the same town. I went to vacation Bible school at a place on 4th Street called Southgate Baptist Church. And
Mhm.
it for those who have gone, it they're remembering this right. We had like 30 minutes. First of all, it was in the morning. The
Yeah,
first week the first week of summer break, mom loads us up in a car, and I started when I just finished 2nd grade. It was my first year, I think. And so I said, "Where are we going?" Like a little dog that's excited to go for a walk. And we hop in the car. It's summertime. I bet we're going to Disney. But no, no, we weren't.
no.
We were gonna go get watered down juice and graham crackers
Hmm.
and sing incessantly about Jonah. So we we
Yeah,
had it was in the morning, and like I said, bright sunshine before all the rain came. It was just this perfect week. And I think my microphone just popped. I think it's a subject matter we should step lightly around.
right. We're touching on the sacred here.
Right. But I
Hmm.
remember one odd thing about it, and that's a dead true story, what I wrote on Facebook years ago. Buddies of mine that I knew were outside the window where I was enjoying summertime. And I remember we got about 20 or 30 minutes of outside playtime during this. And it was a fence, a fenced in area, probably 20 feet by 30 feet of a chain link fence with this crappy playground equipment. And so we were out in the prison yard, but we could see outside. We could see outside the fence at these
That's
other
right.
kids, and there's a creek that ran by the church. And 2 dudes that I went to school with were down there catching crawdads and
Oh
running
yeah,
around and yelling and playing ball, and I'm in here with that swing set and some chick that won't get off of it, and I'm just miserable. Like, I
yeah.
wanted to
You
get a
feel like
medal.
Andy Dufresne in Red from Shawshank. Hope is a powerful thing, Andy. Hope is a powerful thing. It's dangerous. Don't be hoping. Don't be hoping.
I
Yeah,
was, though. I didn't know any better. I needed
yeah,
a metal cup to bang against the fence,
yeah,
and they are having the time of their life, and
yeah,
I knew the clock was ticking for me to go back in there and glue more macaroni to
yeah,
that felt.
yeah.
Am I off? Is this was
Well,
this just me?
no, it's not just you. I grew up in that situation as well, and here I'm gonna just be gut level honest. I pastor a church now that still does VBS, and every summer, late in the summer, we do an evaluation of why are we still doing this? What can we change this? Can we make it better? What do we need to do? Now, granted, I think it's better than what we experienced. Um, but
Dad, listen, if they brought in sewing machines and made us make Nikes under dim lights,
yeah,
it's better.
exactly. Well, I remember my first VBS experience. I could name my teacher, and out of respect for the dead, I'm not going to do that. But she she was. I'm not saying she was old, but I think when Moses was in VBS, she taught him in VBS as well.
I think it's the
And
same lady. I think she went
same,
all around the churches.
probably just made the circuit of what that was. But I think it was more for the parents than it was for the kids, as much as anything, because parents were like, I got something to do with my kids for 3 hours every morning. Mom's going to Target or whatever it is. She's at a Starbucks date. We've got our hellion kids,
Yeah.
and hell, they're at the church, so they're okay.
Oh my gosh.
And so I think believe it or not, I think there is some of that still happens. I mean, we have people that call here all the time. It's like, when is your VBS? And then they call the other church, and they like send their kids to like 8 VBSs because it's cheap childcare
Oh my lord.
or child abuse, however you want to look at it.
Well,
But
here's the deal. It's not free because they've got to go on that last night to be sung at.
oh
And
yeah, there's a commitment.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. You know what? Now that I think about it, when mom would pick us up, there would be Otasco bags and
Oh,
TG&Y bags in that
of
car.
course, dude, of course.
I never put
And
two and two together.
McDonald's, and she went where she wanted for lunch.
That's right.
She went to some place without a playground for lunch.
That's a great point.
She dropped you off and went to some place without a playground for lunch and sat around there with 9 other moms, and they thanked their heavenly Father that there was these people crazy enough to do VBS for their kids.
You know what? One time she picked us up, I'm not making this up. The next door neighbor lady was with her. They were at lunch,
Of course. Of course.
and I was eating
Yeah.
graham crackers and glue and felt. I keep saying glue and felt to cardboard, but that was one of our crafts.
And popsicle sticks of some sort.
Yeah. Yeah, we made little Bible characters out of popsicle sticks one day, which taught me about Gideon, I think.
Yeah, of course. Of
So,
course.
all right. So
Yeah,
at
the traumas of VBS.
so at your church, do you people do it at night now? Because I see signs in the late spring where it's at night. Is it still during the day?
Ours is during the day, but there are some that do them at night.
What's that
Um,
about?
doing it at night or during the day?
Well, like when you're in an office job and they say, "Hey, tomorrow's a half day," and you hope, "Please let it be in the morning so I have my afternoon so I don't have to dread this all day." And so if it's at night, you're out there playing, you're jumping your bike on the do they do that anymore? Maybe they don't. Anyway,
I don't know.
whatever kids do, um, they gotta dread that all day.
Yeah, we have like, believe it or not, though, it's crazy. We have like 300 volunteers that show up to help that week. It's insane. And so, we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids, hundreds of volunteers. Our whole church campus is full of people those mornings. But here's the deal. I I have not been in Phoenix, Arizona on the week that we have done VBS in 7 years.
Oh my gosh.
I'm out when we do VBS. I'm out.
Gosh.
It is a
That's
circus.
that's so smart.
It is a circus.
Now I
That's
know
what,
that
people are like, hey, how do you stay in ministry so long? Never do overnighters as a student minister and get out of town during VBS.
boy, that's such good that should be in seminary. That should be taught.
Right.
Yeah,
But yeah, we do. I get out of town. I haven't even been here for it.
that's
So if you say,
genius
what have they
level.
done? I don't know.
That's
But I don't know.
that is
I don't.
genius level shepherding.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, we see benefits of it. I mean, we do. I mean, I think they're there. But is it worth the ROI? I don't know. I don't know. But
I I just think that
I don't know.
our group that were in VBS, I think we kept craft in business
Oh,
with
there's no doubt, man.
macaroni sales.
Yeah, and those awful, the otter pops, because they come in a box of 100 that were like $3,
That's a great point. You gotta
and you
cut
fought over
corners.
the blue one. Nobody wanted the green one or the purple one. Everybody wanted the blue or the red. And oh yeah, but yeah, we had those otter pops, Oreos, Cheez Its.
You had Oreos?
Well, just on one day, not every day. That was like the climax of the week
It's like
was Oreos.
It's like
Oreo.
giving blood on the day that they have Nutter Butters. That's when you show up, right?
Right. That's exactly right.
Oh my
But
gosh. So,
but
yeah, we didn't have that. We went to oh, you know where Southgate is there on 4th Street? There were limited resources, let's say.
understand. Yeah.
So, we went there, we went to church there when I was very young. We first moved to Oklahoma. And, so that's where so let me paint the picture for people who avoided this. We would go in the mornings, wood paneling everywhere. We met under the and I think they distributed these signs, these poster boards to every Southern Baptist church back then. We met under the bus ministry, uh, board that had a thermometer on that was hand drawn, and it
Yeah.
was based on, how close they were to buying their new bus,
Yeah.
where they would color it in. And so we met under the bus thermometer, and we went to our different classes. Our associate pastor at the church was remember Woodsy the Owl?
Of course.
He was
Yeah.
built exactly like Woodsy. Matter of fact, I think that was his people started calling him Woodsy. Crazy. It was dead on. It now, again, for those who don't remember, like, might be a little before us or after us, remember the hunk of cheese dude during cartoons on Saturday mornings? But a little more filled out. Uh, Pastor Wilson wasn't quite as feathery as Woodsy, but maybe he was clothed. Might have been because he was dead on. And so
That's
we
hilarious.
yeah, his wife ran the show, and she was a tiny little woman with a real short temper, and she was the one that I'm sure demanded they water down the Kool-Aid. By the
Yeah.
way, that's another thing. They lined us all up and gave us a Dixie cup of Kool-Aid. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a nod to Jim Jones, like Jonestown, like, "They're coming here, let's line them up, let's see if they'll take
Yeah.
it, and that way we have
Yeah.
options. If they're willing to drink it without the stuff, if
Yeah.
things get out of line, we can just end all this now."
It's amazing though, you can tell a church's budget by the quality of the snacks. That
Wow.
that's where that's where it really manifests itself is the quality of snacks that the church has. And so, did you have the off-brand soda or did you not have soda at all? You just had Kool-Aid or
You
lemonade.
you guys got soda? We
Well,
had we had
sometimes
watered down Weilers, so we didn't even have Kool-Aid, Flavor-Aid.
nice.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, there's the tub of Kool-Aid that you would get, the powdered Kool-Aid, or the tub of Country Time lemonade that they would mix with their arms in the jar. Stick their arms down the jar, mix it up because there was never a spoon that was long enough, so they just stick their
right,
hand down in it.
right.
And so we got that, but on occasion there was a soda. Maybe it was the same day as Oreo Day, but there was soda, but it was never like the brand name soda. It was the Walmart Dr. Thunder Big K
Yeah.
uh Safeway brand soda.
I'd like to be in that budget meeting. Alright, we can have burlap sacks for the sack race at the church picnic, or we could have name brand soda. Sacks.
Yeah,
Everybody
exactly.
everybody's hand goes up for sacks.
Yeah,
So
because we'll be able to reuse those.
right. So,
Yeah,
again, let me set the stage.
yeah,
We're meeting under the big thermometer on the bus. What's that called? Bus? Every church had them. Every church I went to had them. Um,
that's your lovely Baptist upbringing.
oh, yeah.
The
Yeah.
bus ministry,
The bus yeah,
the
it was
bus
a
barn, whatever.
bus. I don't know. It was like the bus thing. Like we the thermometer gets this so high, now we can buy the 73 auction bus from the school
Yeah,
and paint it. And so we met under that. Wood paneling everywhere. The fluorescent lights were buzzing. A lot of them were blinking. And then we'd
yeah,
go to the room, the big room where all the grades were together. We would pledge allegiance to the flag. Then we would
yep.
pledge allegiance to the Christian flag. Then
Okay.
we would pledge allegiance to the Bible. And
Oh,
then
okay.
I'm sure we would pledge allegiance to I don't know. I don't know when that ended, but I know it went on for quite a while. and then we would get segmented by, I guess age, like whatever grade in school that
Yeah.
you had just
Yeah.
finished. I don't know the admin part of this as a second grader. I just knew I was peeping out what kind of wireless was gonna be that day
Yeah.
and staring out the window at my little jerk friends with their dirty faces down at the creek having the best time ever. And it was like, Chad, it was like a Disney movie. I'd look out there and birds were landing on their shoulders, and this old black guy playing a banjo and they were dancing and
Yeah.
they were all cartoons. And I look back around and there's Woods and the Owl's wife screaming at me about coloring outside the lines.
Hope
Uh,
is a dangerous thing, Andy. Hope is a dangerous thing.
that is the
Don't
truth.
don't look out that window. Hope is a dangerous thing.
That is no more true than we were on the when we were on the playground, and, like, literally, we were caged, and we got to
Yeah.
go out to the yard. They should have been, like, little
Yeah.
weight sets out there, and
Gin pop. We
it's
but see, I think you had it even a little better than I did because we were all in the gym with these rolling partition walls. So we didn't even have windows to look outside. We couldn't even dream about there was no hope. There was no hope. There was no hope at all.
Hey, Chad, what's do the math for me. You're on the other side. I mean, you at least oversee the admin stuff of that. How is it possible that a 3 or 4 hour vacation Bible school day felt about twice a school day? How do they pull that off?
Gosh.
You would think that all of the pledges of allegiance alone would take up
Yeah, that's 20
an
minutes, 30 minutes.
yeah, and
Dude, our
so
yeah, I think it's so much different now than what we experienced. I mean, we have like kids running to be here. They get we have a big parking lot and stuff. People parking lot and the kids are just running from the car to the building. I never one time did that.
so you've
Never
heard.
one time did I sprint from the car to get inside for a church program. Never one time.
So you've heard from Cozumel when you get phone calls from the volunteers who work at VBS.
That's right. We have cameras. I can watch it from anywhere.
Oh
So
my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah. Hey, and
Well,
you're not supposed to say that where I'm at. That's not their business.
that's sabbatical is sabbatical. You can
Yes,
study
that's
the
not their
ancient
business.
Greek from anywhere.
Yeah, that's right. Lubbock or Cozumel, it doesn't matter.
Gosh.
Yeah,
So you have kids excited to go to this.
yeah. And so I think it's different. I mean, we keep them moving. They keep them active. It's just so different. And I think technology is a big thing. I mean, we're just able to do so many things so much better than we did. But we just, and I think and maybe that's the deal is that I think we are able to do a lot of things technologically better than the school does.
What's better though?
Well, I mean, like our we've got 25-foot LED screens and all this kind of stuff that schools don't have, and we've got you know just what we have is better than what's in the
Well,
classroom.
hang
And
on
and
now. That's
yeah, and
that's
so I
subjective.
think that's yeah, yeah. So,
What's
but when we
what's
were
better
kids,
what's better than finishing your macaroni art and then
yeah,
getting all corralled into that sanctuary again with the wood paneling, the baptistry
right,
behind you, and learning to recite children's songs over and over that we're going
right,
to make our parents sit through
of course,
on Friday night when we all get
yeah,
out of vacation Bible school.
yeah. But I
I
think
don't
when we were kids, what we did at church, especially during the summer, was not nearly as good as what we did in school. They had better stuff at school, and so I don't know that that's the case anymore. And so I don't know. I never looked forward to VBS.
Oh,
I
Chad,
mean,
dude,
and
how could
dude,
you?
I'm a Jesus follower. I pastor a church. I never one time looked for that. That's just not something that did it for me.
Yeah.
And I'll have friends that'll label me a heretic over that. But
Well, but you were
okay,
I remember you in school, you were an athlete and you had things to do and, bike trails to ride as a
yeah,
kid, and
yeah,
none of that happened, well, in your case, in a partitioned hot Oklahoma gym where, like I said earlier, it was always perfect weather.
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah, it seems like it. But you know
I
what? And to be fair and honest, I got kicked out of it a lot. Even in like in our kids ministry stuff, just like in a regular deal during church. I can't remember how many times I got sent to big church to go sit with my parents because I wouldn't
Rich.
shut up or whatever. And
Yeah,
so I think there was a time in my life where the people that were like trying to invest in me as a child were like, this guy's either going to prison or he's going to be a pastor. We don't
yeah,
know, and it can go either way. Um, and so, but VBS was not the tipping point for me in my faith for sure.
I'm
But
telling
that's
you.
not to say it's not for some. It's not. I mean, I don't want to discredit that. It may be for some, but
Look,
for me, it was not.
I got a leg up on you. I remember getting banished to big church when
Oh yeah,
because when I would start doing stand up and work in the room in children's church, like the teachers would say, "Scott, you gotta go." It's oh
yeah,
no, no, I don't want to sit next to my dad in the leisure suit, and I don't want this. But one time in high school, I was sitting next to my buddy, a kid named Jeremy Austin. Now I went to a downtown Oklahoma City church, so I was from Moore. He went to Putnam City High School. We had Midwest City kids. They were all from all over. And so me and Jeremy became good buddies. And I was sitting next to him. Jeremy's real dry wit, really funny dude. He's a colonel in the army now, by the way. And so we're listening to the offertory song. And it was a guy named Bill. I won't say his last name. And it was Bill Parks. And Jeremy leans over to me and this is in an old, like wooden stained glass filled oldest church, gorgeous church downtown Oklahoma City. He leans over to me and says, "Bill Park sounds exactly like Elmer Fudd." And he did. Like,
yeah.
Sweet Isle of Puel, the whole bit when he's singing. And he had a
Uh,
real deep voice that resonated. He could sing, but he sounded very Fudd like. And I start chuckling. You know me well enough, man. When something strikes me as funny, I'm done. I just started chuckling as dad gets up from way down on the other side of the sanctuary because he knows that voice.
yeah,
So I see dad coming towards me. I can't do anything about it. I'm powerless. Bill Park sounds like Elmer Fudd, and there's no way around that. And Jeremy's mom played the organ, and she could look down and see us from up there by the choir. And like, I'm done. I'm done. So
yeah.
dad grabs me and says, "You go sit in the lobby." And not the cool lobby where everybody came in that had carpet, the old 100-year-old, quiet, all wood lobby that faced 4th Street, right there at 4th and Robinson, downtown Oklahoma City.
Oh wow.
And so I'm in there, it's cold. There's old, you know, there's an old Bible from when the church was founded under glass. It's ornate, and there's some kind of saint somebody. Um, this is obviously not Southern Baptist, it was United Methodist. There's an apostle just glaring at me from the stained glass and a
Give
light
me
coming through
that
him.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and so Luke is glaring at me the whole time like, "Jerk." And so I was in trouble, and Jeremy, I heard later that he got jumped on pretty good too for that, but on the way home in the minivan, dad turns around and said, "Son, what was so damn funny?" And I said what Jeremy told me. And Jeremy just simply pointed out, "Dad, that Bill Park sounds exactly like Elmer Fudd." And my mom starts busting out laughing,
Oh
and
no.
she said, "He does?" And so at that point, dad lost,
Yeah.
so yeah, getting kicked out of children's church is one thing. I got you beat, bud. I got kicked out of church from my own dad.
Yeah. That's large. Large.
Well, look, I'm glad to be able to crack open the door at least from the inside and hear about the inner workings. I'm glad it's still a thing. I I I I don't I wouldn't wanna do it.
Talk to me in
My
a couple of years. Talk. I mean, we evaluate it every year. Hey, is this worth it? Are we doing anything besides just providing childcare for these
you
kids,
got
or
kids
what's all?
running you got kids running from
No,
their SUVs.
I know, and that's the deal. It's something. So it's not our VBS anymore for sure. At least we try for it not to be.
Dad was in Korea in the army. He used to tell me, "Look, I'm glad I did it, but I'd never do it again."
Fair enough.
And we're talking about it now in our 50s, and so it did something. But POWs talk about that when they meet up. So I don't know that that makes it great.
Yeah. Yeah, they're telling stories about what they had to eat and what they could see on the outside too. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's
They
exactly
didn't
right.
they didn't have the Woods of the Owl's wife coming by, but
Yeah.
but they did have the bamboo and the fingernails. So I guess
Yeah.
to each
Yeah.
their own.
Yeah, they were wanting some Weilers, you know. I wish we'd had Weilers.
Every
Right.
generation's wireless.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So
Chadwick,
good.
what did we learn today? Anything?
Oh man. Well, hopefully we change with the times in some ways, but you know, uh I think people will still there's still people that find Jesus through that. So okay. That's good. That wasn't my story, but it may be theirs.
Yeah, it wasn't
And
mine.
that's okay. That's okay. And so that's why we keep doing it. And to me, seeing kids run from their cars there, that's a good thing. And you know me, I like to have a good time. I like to laugh. I laugh at myself a lot, and I want the church as a whole to be a place where people want to be, and so it should be. And sometimes I think we get that right, and sometimes I think we get it wrong. But man, those were formative times that we went through, and it's fun to laugh at all the things that we survived um, back in the day of what that looked like,
I
and
guess so.
yeah, the PTSD of all those things, and
Well, you know what
you
doesn't
know,
what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But I really would like to have that week back every year.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that. If I was given the choice, which I don't ever remember if I was given a choice. I
No,
typically, as a kid, wasn't given a choice about going to church. My only choice was, do you want to ride or do you want to walk? But you're going to church, and that was my choice. But I don't remember them saying, "Hey, we're going on vacation to Disneyland during the week of VBS. You're going to miss VBS." I don't.
no,
And
no.
if they did, I wouldn't have cared. Yeah, great. Let's go to Disneyland. You know, but I don't remember us like managing our schedule around that. But I think people do today in a lot of ways, especially those people that volunteer there. They do. They want to know, like in January, what are the dates of VBS? So it's a thing. It's a thing.
Do you have themes?
Yeah, probably.